Daredevil Born Again is premiering on Disney Plus on the 4th of March. And to watch that, you definitely need a quick recap of what happened in the previous seasons. So before Daredevil Born Again brings Matt Murdock back into the fight, let's take a deep dive into everything that led up to this moment. Our story begins with a blind lawyer, Matt Murdock, who was blinded as a child in an accident involving chemicals. But while he lost his sight, he gained something far more powerful, superhuman senses that let him see the world in a way no one else can. By day, he's an attorney fighting for justice in the courtroom. By night, he becomes the vigilante known as Daredevil, cleaning up the streets of Hell's Kitchen, one criminal at a time. But every hero needs a villain, and for Matt, that villain is Wilson Fisk. A ruthless crime lord, Fisk controls Hell's Kitchen from the shadows, manipulating the police, politicians, and even the city's media. As Daredevil starts taking down Fisk's operations, the battle between them grows deadlier. With the help of his best friend and legal partner, Foggy Nelson, and the fearless journalist Karen Page, Matt gets closer to exposing Fisk's empire. But Fisk isn't just a criminal, he's a mastermind. He destroys Matt's reputation, manipulates the FBI, and even turns the city against Daredevil. But in the end, the devil of Hell's Kitchen wins. With Fisk finally arrested, Matt believes his war is over. But that was just the beginning. With Fisk behind bars, Matt faces a new kind of challenge, one that tests his morality like never before. Enter Frank Castle, aka the Punisher. A brutal vigilante on a mission of his own, Castle takes justice into his own hands, executing criminals without hesitation. The city sees him as a monster, but Matt sees a man who lost everything. Their clash leads to some of the most brutal fights in the series, each one pushing Matt closer to the edge. As if dealing with the Punisher wasn't enough, Matt's past comes back to haunt him. His former lover, Elektra Natchios, returns, dragging him into an ancient war. The Hand, a deadly ninja organization, is planning something massive, and Matt is forced to fight a war he never saw coming. Frank Castle, meanwhile, uncovers a massive conspiracy involving the people who killed his family. He finally gets his revenge, brutally taking down the people responsible. But for Matt, things get worse. His double life starts crumbling. Foggy learns the truth about Daredevil, Elektra is seemingly killed, and the Hand succeeds in their mission. By the end of Season 2, Matt is more alone than ever. Before we get to Season 3, there's one more battle that changes everything. Teaming up with Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist, Matt takes on the Hand one last time in The Defenders. The war ends in disaster. Matt is buried under a collapsing building, presumed dead. But he survives, and that leads us to the darkest chapter of his life. Broken, injured, and questioning everything, Matt returns in Daredevil Season 3. But he's not the only one making a comeback. Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, has found a way to manipulate the system once again. From behind bars, he orchestrates his return, slowly regaining power and influence. And he's not alone. Enter Benjamin Poindexter, aka Bullseye. A deadly marksman with an unbreakable focus, Fisk turns him into the perfect weapon. Disguised as Daredevil, Bullseye begins terrorizing the city, ruining Matt's reputation and forcing him into hiding. As Karen and Foggy fight to bring Fisk down legally, Matt faces the ultimate question: should he kill Wilson Fisk once and for all? The final battle is brutal, with Matt barely holding back. But in the end, he does what Daredevil does best. He beats Fisk without becoming him. He exposes Fisk's crimes, forcing him into a deal that sends him back to prison for good, or so we thought. And that's where we left off. Matt Murdock still fighting, Wilson Fisk still lurking, and the future uncertain. On the horizon, one thing is clear: this war is far from over. The devil of Hell's Kitchen always gets back up. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more. Let me know in the comments, what are your expectations for Daredevil Born Again? Until next time, stay vigilant.